They say in sports, you can never say what if. Well, wrestling's never really been your standard sport. So who's to say that we can't say what if? What if Triple H and Shawn Michaels went to WCW instead of Diesel and Razor Ramon? What if Bryan Danielson never left the Indies? What if Edge never lost 9 years of his career? What if Kenny Omega was a WWE guy the last 15 years? Who's to say? We can't say. What if?
What up, everybody? It is Sammy, the Spanish guy Guevara.
This is Evil Uno of the Dark Order, and you're watching
The AEW Injection.
the AEW Injection on the Sports Hit List. Join Dark Order.
I often ask myself, why are some people so infatuated with the simple question, what if? I mean, in wrestling, we ask ourselves that question all the time. What if? What if AEW was never created? What if they never gave CM Punk a live mic, and he never cut the infamous pipe bomb? What if Becky Lynch never became the man? So then again I ask, what if? Why is this simple question so complicated? Join us here at the Sports Hit List as we dive into that simple question of what if.
Oh yeah, 2020, pandemic, quarantine. Give me the Miz. Happy New Year, baby.
Come on, bro. Stop.
See, that's it. See, Carl.
That's it.
See, Carl.
Shut it down.
First of
you
all,
shouldn't have let me go last.
That's just irresponsible. That's what that is.
So we have Hogan, HBK, Miz, and The Rock. I know we're not satisfied.
Oh man, yo.
Oh, that whole
Don't do that, bro. We are live right now on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Hardcore Launch for the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans. We just finished up WrestleMania Backlash. This is a interesting WWE pay-per-view. Can I say that I'm surprised at some of the things that I saw tonight? Not really surprised. I think I had more problem trying to load my Peacock television to watch the pay-per-view than the actual pay-per-view itself. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to bring in my contributors so we can discuss what we just watched, or if we're even able to watch it all. So let's bring in the Outlaw, Mr. Zach Droll. Let's also bring in TK the Tank, Tom Kenny, and Mike Murillo, the analyst. Gentlemen, I had trouble watching the pay-per-view. It kept loading back and forth. I couldn't watch it consistently. My wife had to wake me up because I was falling asleep because there was nothing for me to watch because my Peacock couldn't load properly, so I couldn't even watch it. So from what I saw, it was very difficult. I can't say I can give it a full grade. I may have to go an incomplete because it kept loading and it wasn't working. And I only saw half the pay-per-view. So, and the other half of it, I was when it wasn't loading, when it was trying to load, I was sleeping because I was waiting for it to load, and I fell asleep. So, TK, let me start with you. Did you get a chance to watch the entire thing? What were your thoughts overall before we even dive into it?
Well, I did not have problems with Peacock, very fortunately. Did I watch the whole thing? I watched 90% of it. When the zombies came out, I took a little break, walked outside for a bit, collected my thoughts, and came back in. But overall, I thought, a lot of times you can complain, you might have a gem match in the undercard and maybe the main event doesn't deliver. I felt this was the complete opposite. I felt like there were problems with the undercard. But the last two matches, the main events, the two title matches, I thought were excellent. But the zombies were a problem. I thought the Ray Dominic stuff was weird. And but the last two matches and where we go from there's a lot of stuff to do. So just another pay-per-view in the books. I guess overall, if I were to grade it, C+.
Okay. Zach, what are your thoughts? As I said in my opening statement, I was able to see the first match. Then my Peacock started freezing, and then I was falling asleep in between. I saw the zombie thing. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, all right, let me put my head back down because I don't believe what I'm watching. And then it kept trying to load and load and load and load again. So it was an incomplete pay-per-view for me as personally because of, I don't know if it wasn't my Wi-Fi service, because when I tried to watch it on my phone, it was okay. And when I switched back to my TV, it just kept loading. And as I showed you guys, I had the loading issue. What were your thoughts on the pay-per-view?
It was good. It was okay. I can't say it was good. I'm gonna say too okay. The opening match was a surprise because Charlotte didn't win. I actually fell asleep during like the middle of the tag team match for Random because
you fell asleep too. So it wasn't just me. All right, I'm glad we're on the same page.
I fell asleep. I woke back up. I saw Dom was there. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Then I stayed up for the rest of it. Saw the zombie thing. Everyone in the group chat blew up about it, and the rest of the card was fun. If I'm to grade this, I'm gonna give like a C-.
All right, Mike, what are your thoughts? Are you on the sleep train with Zach and I, or did you watch the whole thing? What did you think here? I can't hear you, Mike.
I was not on the sleep train.
Go ahead, go for it.
Just to show everybody who does not believe us how bad Peacock is. All right, let's see if I can show this.
Oh yeah, that that happened at the end of the show. All of a sudden, like a production thing appeared on the screen.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I saw that.
Services. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't get to watch the main event.
And also, Mike, that's not on Peacock. That's on WWE.
Wait, Mike, you didn't get to watch the main event?
I saw half of it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I think it's Cesaro's best match.
Why? Because of your Peacock? Match. Because your Peacock was bad?
Yeah, bro, it was frozen.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is ridiculous.
I had no issues.
Come on, man. Listen, this is ridiculous. Like we're paying $4.99 and people went, oh, it's only $4.99, but you want to get a product. There should be no reason why I'm watching a match and it keeps loading halfway through. This is crazy.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. I think Peacock's been absolutely awful. I don't.
Come on, man. Well.
I don't like the interface. I don't like how much commercials I have to watch at $4.99. But at least watching the pay-per-view, I was able to watch the whole thing. If it was loading and freezing the whole time, I probably would have just canceled the service because I'd be very angry.
So
am I the only one here who's paying for the $9.99 version of Peacock?
Yeah. Why am I paying $9.99 for? I'm wanting it $4.99.
Hey, if I'm paying for the same price as old WWE, but then I can watch.
But let me ask you this: what's the difference between the $4.99 and $9.99 price?
No commercials.
Oh, I see. Yeah, listen, it's cheaper with all the streaming platforms I have. I could save a buck or two by going $4.99. It's not worth it.
I'm with you guys on this. The whole zombie thing really it messed it up. I mean,
that sucked the air out of the pay-per-view for me.
I thought there was a couple matches that were all right. The Rey Mysterio and Dominic. I mean, it's ridiculous the way they won. So I went back.
Well, I wouldn't know because my shit wasn't working.
It was pretty much like
tell me, how did they win?
Rey and Dom got the dog piss beat out of them.
Yeah, the Dirty Dogs took like 90% of the match. I was almost positive the Dirty Dogs were going to win. Maybe Dom was going to come out and cost his dad the match or something that would have narrative value. But he just kind of came out, was injured, felt he was fine, hit a frog splash, Mysterio's win. I don't know. I thought it was.
So who hit the frog splash? Dom hit it?
Yeah.
Dom hit it, yeah.
Okay, so he was injured throughout the whole match, and he came back and came in.
Also,
I thought maybe he hits the frog splash and his side hurt so much that Bobby Roode's able to kind of roll him up or something. But no, they just had him win it. I was surprised. I didn't think this was going to be, especially when you take Dom out before the match and have him miss 80% of the match. I didn't think that they were going to switch the titles here.
You know what? Really... Back to the whole zombie situation. I think it's a disrespect. Like I caught parts of that. I think it's a disrespect to Miz. In a sense,
it's because disrespect to Damian Priest as well.
Yeah, I think that's just a little like I don't understand the ploy in going that route in having zombies as your lumberjacks. I don't understand where the narrative even fits in.
There is no narrative. It's because David Bautista has the Army of Darkness movie, and if you're Damian Priest and you say, okay, a lumberjacks is the stipulation, you figure he'd pick something that would help him, but then he's out there fighting the zombies as well. So he didn't pick these lumberjacks. These lumberjacks are literally in canon zombies, and they in canon in WWE history ate John Morrison and The Miz. So where do you go from here?
My intelligence was insulted to the highest degree.
And you know what's so messed up about this, right? I'm a WWE loyalist, and I can sit back and try to defend certain things.
That you can.
And there's so many things I could try to sit here and try to get at AEW for. But then looking back at this, I cannot sit here as a pro wrestling fan and defend that. There's no absolute way.
People are defending it though.
How? On what grounds?
Saying, it's just dumb fun, guys. Just leave it alone.
No. See, I can't say
that's what you say when you have no argument because there's nothing else to say about it. It just ruined everything. It buried all the guys involved. The rest of the night was in jeopardy. I know in our group Christian stopped watching, and you missed some really good matches because the triple threat match for the WWE title was excellent. Great big man match. Those guys hit each other hard and took great bumps. Yeah. And then Cesaro had the best singles match of his career against Roman Reigns. It went a half an hour. There was so much drama. Cesaro hurting his arm, fighting out of the guillotine multiple times. And then the ending happens with Seth Rollins coming out and attacking him and just sets up a lot of stuff. And it was a great ending. But that right in the middle of that zombie match really just threw a wrench in everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I may have to go back and watch. Like I normally don't go back and watch pay-per-views, but because of my technical difficulties, hopefully it's loaded right. I can go back and watch it and see what I can see and see what happens from it. Mike, would you say that this pay-per-view was a cable worthy? Is that the best way to put it? Cable worthy. Like, would you say it's cable worthy?
Yeah, I would say it was. You can watch this for free. Yeah,
you say you watch it for free.
You don't deserve to watch this. You should watch this for free. Like you shouldn't pay for it. It doesn't deserve being paid for. Right. I'll put it that way.
All right. So Zach, you give it a C+, you said?
C-. C-.
TK, would you give it?
I give it a C+, but I disagree with Mike. I think $4.99 is worth the last two matches alone. And the opening triple threat women's match wasn't bad. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't bad. And we're skipping over Bayley and Bianca, which also was It was an alright match, nothing spectacular, but really the last two matches I thought were good. Well, I missed a bit of Bailey Bianca because I stepped outside after the zombie fiasco.
That's fair.
And Mike, what's your grade?
I give it a C+.
C+. So we're in that C, and I give it incomplete. Okay, so moving along, we saw a promo. I did see this though. There's a promo for Hell in a Cell. Now this throws the monkey in the wrench, as it says, and I guess Nick was right because fans are apparently coming back. Normally, Hell in a Cell is an October pay-per-view, but now it's being moved to June, and that kind of speculates that Money in the Bank will be July. Or are they just shifting the entire pay-per-views? TK, what are your thoughts here? Seeing that, did that throw you off a little bit? Seeing that Hell in a Cell has moved to June?
At first it did, but I have to say I agree with it, even though it's not been too long since the last Hell in a Cell. When you think about things, number one for me, I always threw me off when they had the pink ring ropes for breast cancer awareness month in October in Hell in a Cell. That always threw me a little bit. So I'd like to see more of a dark, ominous Hell in a Cell type atmosphere in June. But more so than that, you think about Roman Reigns and you think about what's been happening. He put Jey Uso in line in Hell in a Cell. It's time for Roman Reigns to put Jimmy in line in Hell in a Cell. So the timing of this pay-per-view really makes me think they did this on purpose, and maybe we won't see an Extreme Rules this year or an Extreme Rules till the fall, but we will see Hell in a Cell because the tribal chief, the head of the table, has to get his family in order. And yes, definitely Money in the Bank in July, first pay-per-view with fans. I think people are going to go crazy. I think it's going to be a real big event.
Okay, Zach, what are your thoughts on that Hell in a Cell teaser we saw there?
I'm happy for it. I hope that we can the red cell because it's distracting and it's very unappealing, in my opinion. And if this is the last pay-per-view in the Thunderdome, they better tear that whole entire arena apart. I'm talking about throwing people through those screens.
That'd be awesome. I agree with Zach on that. Yeah. Hell in a Cell, go all out, blow it all up.
Yeah.
Mike, what are your thoughts here seeing that Hell in a Cell is next month as opposed to Money in the Bank?
Again, promotion. It's just, I get it. Hell in a Cell next month, but it's very frustrating when you watch a pay-per-view and you're constantly seeing these backstage segments, or you're constantly seeing these things that, I don't know, just the whole thing made me real frustrated. Just even thinking about, like, I don't even care about Hell in a Cell. Just get to the next match. So hopefully it doesn't freeze and we can be happy with what happens next. I did not enjoy the Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks match, which is, I believe, was before the Hell in a Cell. When was the Hell in a Cell advertisement?
I'm not sure because my shit kept skipping, so I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know.
That was, hold on.
I wouldn't be able to let you know when it came.
Let me go to our group chat
because I said it. Yeah, because I texted it when it happened. So it was. I'm not sure exactly when it happened though.
I can timestamp it.
They want to go all out and do Hell in a Cell, but in my personal opinion, why not wait until Monday to announce it? Maybe to make it more exciting.
Well, they always announce the next pay-per-view during the pay-per-view. Like that's just the way they do it. Yeah, they always do that.
And to give clarity, it was right after the dumpster fire of Damian Priest versus The Miz.
So then I did catch it. Right.
Yes.
Listen, as much as I agree with you guys saying that they should go all out, just remember, these themed pay-per-views, you see limited, like it's not a full card. Like this wasn't a full card. This was like half a card of a roster. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you were missing, like Seth Rollins didn't have a match on here. You didn't see, like Sheamus was on the pre-show. You didn't see the Intercontinental Championship match. So if they're doing Hell in a Cell, chances are they're only going to have like 2 or 3 cell matches. No. And then the rest of the card will be like your basic matches in a sense. No.
Yeah, that's what I expect them to do. Last year, they think they did 3 Hell in a Cell matches. I think they could do 2 or 3 again this year, and the rest will be regular matches. But I personally am enjoying the 3-hour pay-per-view. Back before the pandemic, it was 4 hours for every pay-per-view, and then like 6 to 8 hours for WrestleMania and SummerSlam. So I think the pay-per-views are paced out very nice.
Right. So now that Seth is still in, like, okay, looking ahead to Hell in a Cell. Now that Seth is still involved with Cesaro, that could potentially be a cell match. But
yes.
what does Roman do? Does Roman face Jimmy in the Hell in a Cell for the championship? That's how we're going to book it? Yeah?
That's how I would book it.
But you see, this is how I do it, though. You see, this is where I'm throwing an alley up here, right? Roman versus Jimmy, and who's the special guest referee? This
Oh,
is
there
where
you
it's
go.
booking. This is great booking. You put Jay as your special referee, and there you go. This is the match you have.
That's a great match. I mean, there's so much you can do with that. There's so much drama you can build, so much tension, so much what if this, what if
I
that.
hope WWE is watching. Whoever the 5 viewers who are watching right now, one of them is WWE, and make sure you cut me my check because I said it here on the hit list first.
Kevin
That's
Dunn,
what I
it's
think.
Vince McMahon, it's Michael P.S. Hayes. They're all watching right now.
Yeah.
I do agree with that idea, but also what happens if it's just Jimmy versus Jay at Hell in a Cell?
No, you see, I think that should be at SummerSlam. I think this should feud out to SummerSlam, that they feud or the next big pay-per-view. Or I want to see that match because we've never seen it before because they've been tag teaming for their career. Jimmy versus Jay is brewing, and I think it would make a good match. It's a matter of if, say, Jimmy loses, he has to fall in line. If Jay loses, then he has to team with his brother and leave Roman. Something like that. Something that's pulling strings, I think is later down the line if they're going to build this story right. That's how I would do it. Mike, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean that's the way to book it. You know, there's no other way. I mean, I could see Big E being the Universal Champion in the future, but that's not going to happen at Hell in a Cell. So why not give him Jimmy?
WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. He put his cousin in line. Now it's time to put his other cousin in line. I don't see any problem with that. If they don't book it, then I'll be very surprised.
Now, moving for the WWE Championship, in the pre-show, it was a general consensus that Bobby would be moving on from Strowman and Drew, and Strowman and Drew would continue feuding. Bobby would move on.
Yeah.
So who does Bobby face now at Hell in a Cell, or does he take a pay-per-view off?
I like to go with TK's idea. You bring back Keith Lee. Keith Lee's been gone for about
2-3 months now, I think.
Yeah, ever since that the thing leaked about him going back to the PC.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the Intercontinental Championship match between Riddle, him, and Lashley, right?
Yeah,
he was.
That's my knowledge.
Yeah, that was the last thing I think we heard of him, and I think he wasn't he under COVID protocol, and then he ended up not coming back because they wanted him to get back in shape, right? That's what I remember.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, because Mia Yim, his wife or fiance now, I can't say wife, got COVID because there was another COVID scare at NXT, i.e. affecting him, and then stalling, I think, his return and stuff like that.
He's going through some issues right now, so it's not really up to Vince or anybody else. It's up to whatever he's going through. He's confirmed on Twitter that it is some health issues, so we don't know.
Right. So, but again, so if it's not a Keith Lee in that situation, I mean, you could bring like the Fiend. Clearly, we see he's going through his personal issues as well. Could the Fiend potentially be that next candidate to challenge for the WWE Championship? There are a lot of options there for Raw if you couldn't put him there. I wouldn't like to see Randy Orton, the RK Bro storyline. I want to see where that goes. Clearly, that looking like it's going to lead to a tag team championship. Who else could be in that main event spot up until SummerSlam?
SummerSlam is far away, but just for Hell in a Cell, I think they're going to go with Drew again, based upon the end of this match, and based upon it being Hell in a Cell now. It's a big blow-off match, but for SummerSlam, I think you got a lot of options for Raw. Like you said, could be the Fiend. It's just I don't like the Fiend with the title because he's too strange of a character, but Keith Lee's not a possibility, and you never know if they have fans, and Vince. I could definitely see Brock coming back. Brock versus Bobby. That would be a big main event marquee match. It would main event. It would sell tickets. Madison Square Garden. Brock
not
Lesnar.
For Hell in a Cell. Yeah, for SummerSlam. Yeah, but not
for SummerSlam. For SummerSlam.
Yeah.
For Hell in a Cell, I do think it's going to be Drew McIntyre because of the way this match ended and because it's a big Hell in a Cell blow-off match. It's not Extreme Rules or Money in the Bank or different pay-per-view. They can make this match work one more time with a gimmick like Hell in a Cell.
Zach?
I can agree. I think either it's Brock that can definitely give Bobby the right rub that we've been wanting for Bobby, to be honest. Drew's been doing it, but I think Bobby needs a real challenger.
Mike, what are your thoughts?
Talking about SummerSlam, we're talking about the next pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah, the next pay-per-view. Who do you think would challenge Bobby?
That's the issue. There's nobody. So gonna go with the Fiend, or they might take a different route and decide, let's go with Damien. But then again, that would kind of hurt Damien a little bit because he might lose. But that's the only guy I could think of, to be honest. Damien, or they're gonna go with Drew for the billionth time.
Yeah, again, I don't know if Drew gets a singles match. Drew he got a singles match. He got a triple threat match. Now you're gonna give him a Hell in a Cell one again. I don't know where that. I mean, how long do you carry on that? And again, are you just gonna drop Braun from that? Like, so Braun just goes back to mid card and just keep Drew because and I can clearly see Drew saying, "Well, I wasn't pinned, so I deserve another opportunity." Like, clearly that's the angle you can play. But it's a matter of are we tired of seeing Drew versus Bobby, or do you want to go in a different route? I'm not sure yet.
Well, that's the problem is who is ready to come step up and really be a legitimate challenger to Bobby Lashley? Because if Damian Priest is facing Bobby Lashley, I think we're sitting here next month saying the same thing we just said, that, Bobby's going to beat this guy. So I don't know who else on the Raw roster is really ready other than The Fiend. Hell in a Cell, The Fiend, that kind of works. But what kind of match even is that? Do you want to put Bobby Lashley in that situation where he has to defend against a guy who doesn't sell offense? You want to make Bobby Lashley look like, the Almighty, Is maybe Bobby Lashley's punch the only one that affects The Fiend? That would be weird, but, we'll have to see.
Yeah, somebody in the comments, shout out to Matt Williams of the Geek Podcast. He said, Drew's been in the title picture for over a year now. He was in the Hell in a Cell last year with Randy Orton. So it's true. How much more opportunities you want to keep giving Drew at the championship if he's chasing it, if you know he's not going to win it? It's time to move on from Drew and see what else is there for him. I'm not too sure. But Matt, I agree with you. But the question is, who do you put in that picture now? You're not going to give Braun Strowman a solo.
You can do pick. You can find someone on NXT and just strap a rocket to them. Just see what it almost worked with Finn until he got injured. You can just call someone up and just strap a rocket to them, and hopefully something sticks. I don't know who, but it's probably the best option.
Yeah, I honestly think WWE's been so predictable. We can kind of see where everything is going. I think that's probably the only question mark is where does Bobby Lashley go from here? Honestly.
Or I just thought of something.
We'll have to see tomorrow night, but they could always throw a curveball and, pit an AJ Styles and Omos or Sheamus, another champion, against them in the Hell in a Cell, because they really don't have anyone.
AJ Styles could be one too, but AJ's wrapped up in clearly the only thing that would happen is they just won the tag titles. I think they're going to drop it to RK Bro at some point. And
me too.
Yeah, and then RK Bro. So that means that would put AJ back in the title picture if you're going to go that route. But
what about Cedric?
Matt is saying, say again?
Cedric
what, for the title?
Yeah.
Possibly. Matt is saying to become an open challenger, a squash match for a month.
That could work.
Let Bobby defend the belt on Raw each week and destroy someone each week. That's a possibility too. That could work too. I'm not too sure, but
maybe Bobby doesn't have a match at Hell in a Cell. You don't need to have championship matches every pay-per-view. We just saw we didn't have the Intercontinental U.S. title or Raw Tag Team title defended at this one. So maybe Bobby decides he's not going to fight in Hell in a Cell. So
yeah, for sure.
I will say this, since I catch Raw here and there, but this was the first time hearing that new commentator's full commentary for a full night, and he is not a good person. He is not good.
Man,
he cannot keep up. Pat McAfee, he's good, but his voice just it gets annoying after a while.
I give everyone an opportunity because I understand how hard is it to simply broadcast and to do this business. And you guys would know, TK knows how hard it is. We've done basketball games, we produced them. It is difficult. It is not that easy to have someone in your ear constantly telling you what the hell to say. I'm not sitting here and judging, because I know how hard it is. And we all are in the RTV radio and television program, and we understand the hard work that goes into broadcasting. But some people have it, some people just don't. And he unfortunately he doesn't have it. Maybe it's going to take some time for him to get it on Raw, but from right now, it's like forced. It's like he's trying too hard. It's just not resonating with me, at least, especially when it comes to pro wrestling, for sure.
TK and Sean should be calling Raw.
Yeah, let's get TK. Let's send that resume up to headquarters.
I sent him my resume. I'm waiting for the call from Vince.
TK
Vince
and
knows
Shawn-
what's good, you know.
But you know what,
It's
Zach?
cool.
What's the next option at that point? Do you just can him and bring back who you had before? Like
I do miss Joe on
Tom
commentary.
Tom Phillips was pretty good. I like Tom Phillips. I didn't have
Like back when even before college, like since when Tom Phillips was a backstage guy, and he was like he had good comedic stuff with like him and Kevin Owens and Jericho. I legit I got a retweet from him. How I was like, man, with the way Tom Phillips is acting backstage, he's pretty much like my spirit animal.
yeah.
And because he was he was good. So was Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was phenomenal, but we all know what happened.
Yeah, Samoa Joe wasn't bad. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, again, clearly they're going to shift. They shifted broadcasters. They do it all the time. And then when they realize how bad it sounded, like I remember before they brought in Samoa Joe, the guy who was part of Retribution, what's his name? He was on commentary.
D'Lo Madden.
Yeah. Brock squashed him or whatever it was until but yeah, it's not working for me. Honestly, it's not yet. It's not. I'm giving it more of an opportunity, but right now it doesn't seem to be there.
It's because
I thought Corey Graves saved the Raw side of the broadcast.
Yeah.
So good for Corey, but yeah, it was rough. And Saxton too. Sax was perfectly fine. They're both professionals, but you can totally tell Vinnick was just not in the same league. I mean, when Bobby hit the spear and he tried to call that victory and he spear, it just didn't sound good.
Yeah. All right, guys, before I let you go, looking ahead to Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, may not be that good based upon how Raw has been the last couple of weeks. What are we looking into this 3-hour dreaded show, Mike?
Well, it's not on Peacock, so that's a positive.
Oh yeah, praise Lord, USA actually works. I don't have to worry about loading issues. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. Go ahead, Mike. I can't hear you, man.
We can expect RK Bro to continue with their thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Bobby. Bobby's probably gonna cut a promo or have MVP cut his promo and see what happens. Charlotte's gonna get involved again with the women's title. And we're going to have New Day being jokes all around the show again. So it's going to be the same show as last week.
Zach, I know you're going to be getting ready for AEW this week. So whatever Raw you watch, what do you think will happen?
Okay, so I better hope that this zombie angle with The Miz just becomes a fever dream and it's dropped by tomorrow. Bobby better do open challenges. Braun and Drew better figure out what they're doing. And Matt Riddle is comedic gold with him and Randy, especially with that tomato bit that I saw when Elias and Riker were throwing tomatoes at New Day, but one hit Randy Orton. And here comes Riddle on a scooter. Hey, Randy. Just speeds away.
Listen, I as much as I love the RK Bro, I hope they have a shirt for them in line because I'd probably be the first to get it.
Same.
I'm just waiting for the heel turn from Randy. I just at some point, you just see it come. Just knowing Randy Orton, like he did it to New Day last week. I'm just waiting for the RKO out of nowhere on Matt Riddle. I'm sorry. I know it's too early, but you can sense it. It's there. It's just like Randy's a tweener right now. Like you don't know what version of Randy Orton you're going to get. And even though Randy wanted to team with him, I kind of see it coming at some point.
Here's how it's going to go. It's going to go, they win the titles. And then like a month later at the next pay-per-view, they drop the titles, RKO. There you go. Then you set up the feud from there.
Yeah. TK, what are your thoughts for Raw tomorrow night?
Raw, like everyone before me said, it'll be interesting to see. I thought Charlotte looked great tonight. Charlotte's looked great since she came back.
She lost weight. Yeah, she looks good.
She did lose weight. Yeah, she looks really good. And I think that she's gonna take the title off of Rhea Ripley, probably next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, maybe the one after. Just seeing her tonight, I thought she was going to win tonight. I was like, oh, she's winning. But I'm interested to see what they do with that. Also interested to see what happens with Bobby. Do they have a tournament to see who's the next number one contender? Do they just announce someone? Is he just going to do an open challenge? I think it's crazy to think in 2019, Kofi Kingston was the heavyweight champion for 6 months, and we did not even mention his name as a next challenger to Bobby Lashley. That's how much they've dropped the ball with him. But it'll be Raw. I mean, there'll be one or two good segments, and then we'll just sit through the rest, and hopefully it's not too much of a car crash. So 3 hours. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Listen, I got somebody in the comments who wants to hear me do a woo. So woo! Go ahead. That's for you, man. Yeah, 3 hours. Listen, I don't watch it all in one night. I do Raw in spurts because it's so long. It's annoying. It's just, you said Kofi as a challenge. Kofi could be a challenger to Bobby Lashley. That could possibly work if he wants to go.
I mean, even if they do a triple threat or a 2-on-1 handicap in the cage with all of New Day, it just like they did with Braun Strowman and Miz and Morrison last year, it'll be something different. And Bobby needs different challengers.
Yeah. He does, for sure. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the post show of WrestleMania Backlash. Hopefully next year they don't name it that, and we'll get through it.
Apparently,
WrestleMania Zombies next year.
Apparently, Manny wants the whole squad to do the woo.
All right, we'll do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Thank you guys again for joining us here live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. For pro wrestling, we will have, for the next pay-per-view, we'll have a pre-show again. So now is our chance. Now we know Telling to Sell. Maybe we'll get some creative with some of our promos leading up to it. Coming this week is this series that I did not approve, but I did approve, which I am not in favor of, that they're going to start shooting this week. It's called What If in Pro Wrestling. It's an 8-part episode or 9-part. I don't even know how many episodes it is. I have to get my schedule out. Officially, Zach kept bugging me and nudging me for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, to the point where Zach knows me well enough that if he nudges me enough, I will turn and I will say yes. He doesn't give up easy.
Yeah.
So,
Just look where the AEW injection led.
Yeah. So kudos to him for being persistent and pursuing it. And the rest of the team, I will not participate. It goes against all my sports values and morals.
But
I will not partake in it. What's up?
What if you did?
No, it wouldn't. No, because it just leaves me with false hope. I cannot participate. It goes against everything I believe in. I will not participate, but I will help produce. I will help edit. I will help promote it because it's under the Hit List brand. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. I know the fans will definitely eat it up. Special shout out to all the fans who like and share, comment to all the Hit List content. Make sure you check out the AEW Injection every Thursday morning with Zach, Nick, and newcomer Christian. Wednesday, let me give you the full Hit List lineup for those who may not know. There's Hit List content 5 days a week on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You can also find other shows on the Worldwide Sports, but Mondays and Fridays, we have Smoke and Mirrors at 1 o'clock. Tuesdays is the Falco Takeaway. Wednesdays is the regular show at 4 o'clock, and Thursday is my wife's show, the B Show, at 5 o'clock. You have all other shows on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Please make sure you download the app. You go to their website. You can find any sports content on there. You have the Ryan Hickey Show there. You have Off the Mat too. Those guys do a great job talking pro wrestling, I believe, Tuesday nights. So you can check out Tom. Listen, man, Tom, you got some fans, man. People have been wanting to see you. They haven't seen you in a while. You got people.
Hey, it's great to be back.
So again, please make sure you check out all of our content. Like, share, comment, subscribe on Facebook, Instagram. We started doing some Hit List lives on our Instagram page. So we're going to start doing more of those. So you can check us out there. Just nonstop content for you guys. Thank you for all the love and support. Guys, any other things you want to say before we sign off?
Don't forget to tune into my to my movie podcast every Friday and Saturday called Box Office Losers. You can catch the audio version every Friday wherever podcasts are found, Apple, Google, wherever. And then the video version on YouTube every Saturday at Box Office Losers.
TK, final thoughts?
Thanks for having me on. It's good to get on and talk to everyone again. So
yeah, TK, hopefully we see you for the next pay-per-view, man. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Mike, final thoughts?
Well, I know this sounds repetitive, but watch out. You never know when NXT Distortion might pop up. Just a surprise.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it, man. Listen, nothing but the best content by the fans for the fans. Thank you for watching us again. Please make sure you check out tomorrow. You'll have Smoke and Mirrors at 1 o'clock. Tuesday's Falco Takeaway. Wednesday's our regular show. We're also going to be doing NBA Play-In Tournament begins tomorrow. The Knicks are in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. The 4th seed New York Knicks are here. Knicks tape. I know TK's pretty excited. He's a Knicks fan.
I am.
Knicks fans are blowing up my phones. Congratulations to them. But we will have a play-in prediction show Please look out for that. That's coming soon this week. And we'll have our regular Wednesday show to talk about the NBA as we head into the NBA playoffs. A great time to be a sports fan. NBA playoffs. You got baseball season, NHL playoffs, a lot going on here. So please make sure you guys watch, like, share, comment, subscribe. Take care. Have a good night.